Hi, I'm Angela Foster. I'm the director of the Greenbelt Studio Dance Program here in the Recreation Department. And right now we are standing in room 116 in the Community Center, which is also our costume shop, aka an art studio. But as you can see behind me, lots of costumes. And we are preparing for our annual Dance Performance Club show, which is going to be in mid-December, as it is every year. And this year's show is Alice in Wonderland. So we have all kinds of fun, fantastical things in the show. One of my personal favorites is a little number designed by Kate McGill, who's the mother of one of the performers and also runs at Camp Encore. This is the Teacup Fascinator for the Mad Hatter scene. It's coming to a show near you. Very fun. So this is one of my favorite things about the job, is seeing all these pieces coming together and all the different people who work on it together. So we're so fortunate here in the Greenbelt Recreation Department to have incredibly talented people who donate their time and their effort, and even when they're employees, they also go above and beyond what their actual job is to make everything sort of magical year after year after year. I always say to my students, all magic is really just hard work. But it does look magical when it all comes together, but it's really just a lot of hard work. This is the very beginning of the whole show. Say, the beginning of the whole show! The beginning of the whole show! Woo! All right, turn, stick behind her. Pull, turn, stick behind her. Pull, shot say, last time. Looking around, here comes your party guests. Go, group 1, group 2.
I love the learning process the most. I love the excitement when we start out. Everything's fresh, everything's new, everything's challenging.
What should the wolf do?
Maybe you could go.
I think like this.
I was gonna say, yours is more of a...
Kind of like a claw.
What's a bear?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be bear as well. Okay? Be good? So we went right, and we went left, we dropped down, we came up for air. We came down, we turned around, and we jumped. Whatever that jump is, and you can do anything with your legs. It can be a stag, just don't kick your neighbor.
When I first started, I was in Ballet 1, and the oldest girls, they were so big and they knew what they were doing, and I really looked up to them. And now I'm in the same ballet class as them, so it's just growth, and it's really interesting if I look back at it.
We have this wonderful nurturing environment and supportive environment that I wish always happened in professional theater, but it's not always the case. But it happens here. And I'm really proud of them for that. In terms of how we sort of make it all happen, there's, Miss Lisa, who's my current assistant director, and myself, we're preparing for rehearsals. We're setting movement. That means, we come up with the movement in advance and we teach it to the kids in some instances. And that's what people usually think of when they think of choreography, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, you do this, hold it for 3, And we do some of that, especially for our younger dancers, the 5 to 7 junior ensemble. They need a lot of clear focus and clear coaching in terms of what the specific movement they're doing and exactly when they're doing it. But on stage, they're also always being supported by senior ensemble members who've been in the show before. So they're not out there by themselves. They always have the support of someone else on stage that's sort of for them and that they can follow, in the sense that there's someone on stage they feel comfortable knowing that person knows what's going on. But really, they don't need to follow. They know their material.
And then we see, oh no! And we look around. So we're going to look at the animals that are passing by us in wonder, and then we're going to run away.
Leading the little kids is very different. It's A lot more. I have to be very sure of what I'm doing because if I mess up, then they don't know what to do. And it's really nice because I love working with little kids and their dances are sometimes a lot more fun. So it's nice. It's different.
I remember that when Miss Angela came, the whole dance program changed. We never had 47 cast members in a show. We didn't have shows like that. So I went from just doing any kind of dance to specifically doing ballet and working some on contemporary and some on jazz, which was really cool to see.
One moves up, run around. EK, 1, 2, 3, and step hop, run. 1, 2, stop, and if you're familiar with Alice in Wonderland, Alice is supposed to change size. Right? That's one of the fun parts. She eats a cupcake and she gets bigger or smaller, you know, in the show. So we're like, a lot of professional theaters accomplish this by having the set pieces change size. Well, we don't really have the resources to do that, but we do have a lot of performers of different sizes. So what we're doing this year is we have a little Alice and a big Alice. Mecca is our Alice in the show, but her little Alice is being split by two performers. Kalani and Patricia are sharing the little Alice part. So again, in professional theater, if you cast such a young child in what is a featured role, that part would normally be split be two performers for reasons of not having them work so many hours because they're minor. So in this environment, I also wanted them to have that experience of splitting the part with someone else. So from the beginning, we cast the two dancers after we sort of, had all the kids try the different parts that they would have to do as sort of a little audition. And then cast Kalani and Patricia in the Alice part. So they're both learning the Alice part, but they're also both learning the main track for their group of junior ensemble members. So there's two groups of junior ensemble. There's a group A and a group B. And the Alices are in the group A. So Kalani and Patricia are actually splitting the group A track and the Alice track. And they'll do Alice in one show and the group A track in another show, which is a really sophisticated thing for them to be doing. I think they're both 6, 5 or 6. So, but they're doing a great job, and all the other cast members are helping them.
I'm excited about being Alice because it's my birthday, and I get to act to be angry, and I get to pretend I'm sleeping while I'm rolling. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's everybody go, 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 go,
there always becomes this hard spot where you have to push through. You know the show is coming, but you've been rehearsing, so you're familiar with everything. So it's hard to keep that excitement up, and it's important as performers to be able to push through and still utilize that rehearsal time and really practice. And I think that our dedicated dancers who are part of Dance Performance Club really bring a lot to the table for that.
Give yourself a hand! That is currently a hot mess, but eventually it will be lovely and everybody will know what they're supposed to do, and they will do it without me yelling, because I will be sitting there very quietly and patiently like I don't even know the show.
So yeah, just seeing the show like slowly, it's like a puzzle, like it gets pieces and pieces, you can put it together, and then when you see it in the gym, it's kind of surreal to see everybody in their costumes, in character and everything. Like it's magical.
I approach choreography several different ways. With my older students, I approach it in a collaborative way. So I give them input, they can give me ideas based on their interpretation of the scene. So we talk about the action that needs to take place and then how we can portray that using dance movements. And a lot of the movement in collaboration settings we are coming up with on the spot during our rehearsal time.
Yes, penché, and break. What's your break? How do you break this? Yep, and then up. And then you guys are going to rotate around. Freeze. So you freeze when you're one straight line, facing this way, yes, okay? And then we have to figure out how we're going to dismiss Alice. Alright? Yes, we have to dismiss Alice. We have to send Alice off. That's the only thing we haven't finished yet for this scene. Collaborative effort. Any thoughts on how you would like to dismiss Alice? Yes, Viola. What is your thought?
Oh no. Mecca, can you try to steal my hat again?
Mecca could try to steal your hat again. I like it. Mecca?
Just give rid of me for that.
So, in the Royal Ballet's version, they go around scolding Alice, which I think is perhaps a good idea.
For stealing the hat?
It wasn't actually for stealing the hat. It didn't make sense what they were doing it for, but now we have a reason.
Yes, exactly.
That you're stealing the hat. Okay, so you were just ponying around. Maybe you for a second so I can figure out how you're going to get out of that pony to steal the hat. Alright, so you're just going to pony around.
Yeah, I remember yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Miss Lisa, we were rehearsing, she was like, do you like coming up with your own choreography? And I was like, sure. So I came up with a little dance that I do with Viola towards the end of one scene. And I really like choreographing my own parts because it allows for a lot more freedom in what I love to do. Like if I love to leap, then I can add some leaps. If I love to turn, then I can add some turns in it. It's like endless possibilities when you're choreographing your own thing.
I'm the Mad Hatter, and I get to act crazy, which is my personality, so that worked out really well.
With our younger dancers, I do prepare the choreography ahead of time, and then we spend our time in rehearsal learning the choreography that was prepared in advance.
Open your arm. Another arm. And you turn. So face the clock roll. Again, you swing your arms backwards. And then you use your jumping feet. So you're jumping and swimming through the waves. So Natalie's line has to turn around to follow Natalie. That's the tricky part. Good job. You're jumping and swimming through the waves. Remember that those scarves are not really scarves. They're really giant pieces of fabric. They're being waved up and down to make the water. Then you kneel down. When you get to the back, you kneel down and make your popcorn. And while they're doing their popcorn, that's where the other animals are coming in. Okay?
What I like about dancing is like when you're like doing something like when you're supposed to do and when you're dancing like beautiful.
Natalie, stop. Natalie, stop.
Right, so senior ensemble, it's a really different process. We involve them in the artistic creative process. So some of the choreography is collaborative. Sometimes I give them choreography assignments, you know, your character, the White Rabbit, or your character, the Flamingos, or your character, Alice. This is what your character is going through. This is what they're experiencing. This is what needs to happen in the scene. Okay, you go over there and you work on your own, maybe with another dancer helping you who's not currently engaged in something else, come up with some ideas for your character for that part. I'm over here setting some movement with another group or running something that's already been set and coaching them through corrections, you know, reminding them what needs to happen. And then, okay, I'll check back in with you in 10, 15 minutes, you work. So I'm over here with one group working, and they work independently and they're motivated and they know what needs to happen. And then I give this group a break and I go back over here, okay, what did you come up with for the White Rabbit or for the flamencos? And usually I'm like, awesome, that's amazing, what good work you did, okay.
I play the White Rabbit. It's just really fun. It's a character role, so there's a lot of like the jumping around, like the whole I'm late thing. It's a mixture of like ballet things and then also some jazz and contemporary, and it's just like, it's all the styles of dance that I like, and it's just a lot of fun to do.
As a cast member, it sometimes seems like it happens overnight, and people always tell you it doesn't happen overnight, you have to work hard, and you do. That's why we're starting so early, even though the show is in mid-December, because with 47 cast members and 25 of them are younger than 7, you're gonna need a lot of work put in.
It's a huge show, it's a huge undertaking. We start rehearsing in September, and then we rehearse every week all the way up to the show in mid-December. And some of the students are only coming one day a week. That's mostly the younger set, and that's like from 4:30 to 6:30 or 7:30 on Fridays. But then the older dancers who've been in the program longer and are doing featured roles or character roles, they know when they sign up that if they're cast in one of those parts, they're gonna have to come in for extra rehearsals. And those are usually on Wednesday evenings and or Saturday during the day, and then there's just more and more rehearsals as we get closer to the show because there's so much to do to bring it all together.
What I like about playing Alice is definitely, it's a good combination of both acting and dancing. Like the roles I've had in the past, it was like a good amount of acting, a good amount of dancing, but this one it's like you're acting all the time and dancing all the time, which I love. I love having like the challenge of having to do both at the same time, constantly.
I think one of the things that I'm impressed with Dance Performance Club is the amazing variety of styles that are always represented within one show. It's not very often that you get to see that when you go to a performance, so I think that's a really neat opportunity for our kids, our students that are taking lots of different dance styles, or our students that are only taking one particular dance style. Everyone has a chance to do what they enjoy, what they do best. So I think that is really impressive, and I also think that it is really neat to have so many ages represented in the same show. So you really, over the years, can build leadership among students that have done it before, and it's such a neat opportunity for new kids to come in and be mentored, not only by the teachers, but also by the students that have danced in the performance before.
So it's a really exciting process, slash a little anxiety producing for everyone, because we had this huge idea in mind. We're gonna put this whole show on with all these great scenes and all these great costumes, and it sounds fabulous, and then down to the nitty-gritty of like so many hours of rehearsal and so many hours of costume fittings. Like I did an hour of costume fittings just for 8 students last night, and do the math, lots of other hours of costume fittings. And then we have an army of volunteers, parents and other people in the community who will do 1 or 2 things. Sometimes that's sewing, sometimes that's lots of glue gunning or spray painting to make, again, all the magic come together, which is just hard work. But when it all comes together, it is pretty much